we're going to be discussing the concept of health and staying healthy. Now, in health itself, there is a physical and a spiritual part to it. I'm going to dedicate this in the next 4 parts, next 4 podcasts. One which will have to be about spiritual health. It's the first one. Then there will be emotional health. And then we'll have 2 parts on physical health. But today, part 1, we're going to discuss the spiritual health. For those of you that have known me and those of you that have met me, you do realize that I am a strong believer in God and that I believe that spirituality is a very important component of life. The most rewarding things that we can pursue in life, I believe, is spirituality. It makes us who we are and gives us purpose in the world. And in life, it's okay to spend time and the resources that we have to experience the richness in what we want. However, ultimately, when life passes away and our bodies die, basically, and disintegrate, all we have left is the spiritual aspect of our life. That's all that's left. The bodies will wear out, no matter what, and we'll get older. And each and every one of us, including myself, will die. Now, some people will say, well, I don't want to think about that, but you need to do that. You need to understand that one day, like your great-grandparents and like your great-great-great-grandparents, each and every one of those people, including ourselves, will pass away, will die. When we die, however, the legacy that we have created, the life that we have truly taken in, and things that we have done, will stay forever if we do it properly. We could create all kinds of aspects in life of things that we have left. And I'm not saying writing a book and having a whole legacy of millions of people following you, although that's not a bad idea. I'm just talking about the pursuit itself, tremendous benefit. Having a spiritual life means that you have peace in your life, joy, the perspective and the wholeness and better relationship. It gives you a purpose. It also gives you significance as to what you should be doing. There's a certain excitement in your life. There's a passion for living. And the hope for the better future is something which is, although gives us emotional stability, it also gives us the intellectual curiosity to see things better and a better understanding of what's going on. When you have a healthy spiritual life, you become more connected. Now, you may say, I'm not religious. I don't believe in God. That's okay. I'm not asking you to believe in God. I'm a believer, but you don't have to. But one thing is for sure is that you do and must recognize and do have to realize that life itself is about a connection to a greater purpose than just yourself. It's not about believing in this religion and that religion. There are many religions out there. As a matter of fact, I read the other day there was something like 10,000 religions out there. Quite amazing. So choose whichever one you want. The one that you were raised with, or the one that you choose because of a spouse or a country or an affiliation or some kind of an attraction that you've had, whatever the case may be. That life, however, whatever you choose it to be, must be connected to some type of spirituality that will help you become the person that you want to be. Just like you have to go to the gym on a regular basis to exercise your mind, you also need to have the discipline to exercise your heart and soul. You have to recognize who you are, and you have to decide, okay, for a healthy spiritual life, what should I do? And this will bring you a unique type of strength for the rest of your life. You have to make it like a pursuit, something that you have to choose. And there are steps that you have to take for that. First, identify in your own ways what spirituality means to you. And how does it develop? What does it mean for me to be a spiritual person? How do I understand that to be? Within that spiritual context, there will be rules and there will be paths that you've created, either that were told to you by the religion that you're following, or that will be taught to you by the principles that you've established in your own life. Now, if these principles and things that you've established are clear in your mind, then you'll know exactly what your purpose is. I'm always amazed by some people who say, well, I can't discuss about this. That's about my religion. That's something that I do at the house of worship. That's something that I speak to with my spiritual advisor. This is about business. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. Life is all connected. There cannot be a life just on that holy day when you go to the house of worship or you speak to your spiritual leader, and then the other day when you're dealing with business. There are no 2 days out there. It's exactly the same day. Things are moving in the same direction at all times. There's no distinction from one to the other. Once you understand that, you realize that your life itself is not into split personalities. So you have to make it a pursuit of what it is that you want to do on a regular basis. You also want to make sure that you set time to be alone, whatever it takes, once a day, once a week, but it should be on a regular basis. I personally pray, believe it or not, 3 times a day. And that's not including the time that I pray before going to sleep at night. I need those times because it gives me the opportunity to reinvigorate my mind and my soul and my being to know what my purpose is. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to go out in a mountain somewhere and become a hermit and start praying to yourself for the next 33 years before you can understand your spiritual level. No. Spirituality is something that you do with yourself. And it could be somewhere in your house, in a quiet room, where the lights may be dimmed, and you're there, reflecting as to what your purpose is and what you want to do, and the things that you've set for your life to be, based on principles of goodness and kindness and greatness. What is truly your purpose in life, and how does it affect you, and does it affect the world? For that, one thing that you can do is read. Read good materials. Purchase material on spirituality. Join a party or some kind of a group that you'll be able to learn from. And wherever you are, wherever you live, whatever you do, these things will be part of your life. It will help you. It will make you grow. It will also get you to where you need to be. There's something else that it will do. That purpose in life, and that purpose and giving you the direction, and it'll give you some type of momentum inside that it will create that positive energy. It will give you joy, knowing that you're doing things in the proper way, knowing that you're going in the right direction, knowing that you have an ability to grow and change not only yourself, but change the world. This isn't the time to think about the kind of person that you are, whether or not you're making mistakes. And this isn't about reflecting on the kind of person that you are versus the type of person that you should be. There are 3 types of people, it says, within a person. There are 3 types of views of a person. There's the person that you think you are. Then there's the person that others think you are. And then there's a person that you truly are. Quite interesting. The person that you truly are, that's who you are. And that you have to admit it in a very, very truthful way. It's difficult because you have to be truthful about it, and sometimes that's painful. It's ruthless, literally ruthless. Because when we look at ourselves and we realize who we are, how can we sometimes accept it? So that's the person that you are. And only you know that. And not all the time. Sometimes you really don't know who you are. But if somebody else sees you and they describe you, that's even a better way about who you are. It's quite interesting. And if you want to know who you are, ask other people. Ask your friends. Ask your spouse. Ask a good colleague. Ask someone that you trust who's been with you. Now, of course, most of us will say, you don't know me. You haven't been with me all my life. It doesn't matter. People can get to know you in just a short period of time. And often what you hear from people who say these things about you are telling the truth. We just don't accept it because we have an ego that is bigger than anything else, and therefore we say this isn't something that I want to be. I'm not accepting that. Knowing who you are and accepting that will help you change, will help you become better. Spiritual life is a very important concept in business. If you're not spiritually sound, if your mind and your heart are not in the same direction, then it's very difficult to accept the type of goals that you're going to set. You're going to always make up all kinds of excuses. And instead of having a reason why you should do certain things, you'll have an excuse as to why you didn't do certain things. And that's what life is all about. Either reasons to accomplish or excuses to say why you didn't get there. Is it worth it? Not at all. You'll be wasting time. That's not what growth is all about. And if you want your business, if you want your successful professional life to grow, and you want to be able to experience a lot more in life, you'll have to start with spiritual goodness, spiritual kindness, spiritual greatness. And that's within you. And as I said, it has nothing to do with the type of religion, with the name of the religion, or the way you practice your religion, or religion itself. It has to do with the fact that you have knowledge and understanding of your purpose on earth. Once you understand that you have a knowledge to do that, and you understand that your purpose on earth is to make this place a better place than it was, physically, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, in every single aspect, then you'll realize what you can do. That's your purpose. What your purpose is in this life is unique. You have to know that it is unique because that is the person that you are, and no one else can do what you do. And that's why the world is a better place, because you're here. If you weren't here, the world wouldn't be what it is today. You've contributed up until today. Now, you may say, I've not contributed a lot. Well, then you can change that. Or you could say, I have contributed a lot. Then you can do more. Never be satisfied with where your results are. Never be pleased with your past experiences and your past achievements. They're the past. That's why it's called the past. Always be eager and have the ambition to do more today and tomorrow than you did yesterday. Although you can use and draw from those experiences, you always have to achieve a lot more. Whatever you've done up until now has been great, but you've got to do even more than that. So spiritual life is very important, because without spiritual life, you cannot understand your purpose, and therefore you'll be stuck at one point in time not knowing where you're going, or asking yourself, what's the point of all this? And that's not something that you need to ask. That's something that you need to understand and that you need to resolve. So number one in our Staying Healthy series is about spiritual life. And I hope that you understand what I'm talking about. So until next time, have a wonderful day. Make it a remarkable day.
If you like what you've heard, please let us know by leaving a comment below. We would really appreciate if you would be kind enough to like, share, and even subscribe. Feel free to follow us on Facebook.